Welcome to Herrera on Hollywood. My name is Stephen Herrera, and today I am interviewing Matt Patterson. Matt is the co-writer and producer of the sci-fi fantasy feature film Lunamancer. It won Best Feature Film at the Philip K. Dick Science Fiction Film Festival. The film made its streaming debut on Amazon Prime on November 14th, 2023. Since then, the film played in a micro cinema and was released on Blu-ray disc earlier this week. Matt, thank you for taking the time to be on the show again.
Thank you for allowing me to talk about Lunamancer because we need more people to watch it. When you make micro cinema, one of the most pressing issues is getting an audience to appreciate it. And as you mentioned, it has been on Amazon Prime, where you can rent it VOD. Uh, it is also on Tubi right now, looking great, which you can watch for free with an ad. It is on VHS, which you can buy from lunamancer.com. And yesterday, I was just looking at the date, it's finally released on Blu-ray in its premium condition where it looks beautiful. And as an extra feature, it comes with a commentary with the cast and crew and the VHS version, which we ripped from the VHS that we made to sell and show at the theater, but we put it on the Blu-ray so everybody can see it in the glory that is analog video.
Wow, it's great to hear that there are so many ways to be able to watch Lunamancer. It's on Amazon Prime, it's on Tubi, and it's available on Blu-ray disc. I wanted to ask you, I know the VHS edition of the film screened at a micro cinema in Silver Lake called Whammy. What did that screening look like?
Well, Whammy only opened a few years ago. And imagine in the middle of Los Angeles on Sunset Boulevard, where all the hip kids come out to strut their stuff. You go kind of around the back, and in this cavernous space is an independent VHS shop, as you may remember it or wish it was from like the late 90s. It's amazing because you can rent VHSs there if you have a membership. You can buy VHS. They actually have some laser discs there for sale. I mean,
Wow.
it gets obscure, and they have a like 50 seat micro cinema where they show all kinds of things, mostly on VHS format. And one night we presented the Los Angeles premiere of all places at Whammy, a VHS micro cinema. And the idea behind that was to get people out to see something special. Now, this is a contemporary film, but kind of framing it in this almost retro way, we felt enhanced the uh, alienation that is present in the film, right? Because it won a Philip K. Dick Award because one of the reasons was the festival director said the main character, here's the cover, looked a lot like young Philip K. Dick to him, and that he's having trouble distinguishing between fantasy and reality. And he meets a moon wizard who may or may not have kidnapped or killed his sister. And so the only way to hurt him is to strap some crowbars, you can maybe see that, to his arms and try to beat him to death. So it's a family film.
Can you tell us about the challenges of getting the film released on Blu-ray disc?
So Blu-ray is not uh, as popular. Blu-ray and DVD authoring tools are not as popular as they once were. So first of all, I had to learn a completely new piece of software, right? We had a wonderful master to work with, and but we got it all on the disc, and then it's like, how do you distribute it? And when I worked at Warner Archive for 12 years, we specialized in movies that we were putting on DVD and Blu-ray sort of on demand. They were being assembled or burned on demand. These Blu-rays are burned. Warner Archives ones are assembled. They're when you place an order, you pull one off the disc or you burn one and you put it in the case and then you digitally print the wrapper. It becomes a unit, it ships off. The advantage to this is that you are not sitting on a warehouse full of stock, right? There are no returns, which is kind of the bane of the physical book, record, and video industry, because you have to project sales, and you can, that's how they wind up at truck stops or 7-Eleven, is you just wind up having too many. This is a micro budget film. We can't afford to make too many of these. And that's why it's a great format. And because I've worked with and know people who are physical media lovers, the physical media version is specifically targeted to them, sort of as an homage to their, support and of the medium that I love, and helping keep it alive. I,
I I know you mentioned that the Blu-ray was just released yesterday.
yes.
Where can consumers purchase it now?
Well, you would think that microcinema that was funded out of the crew's pocket would be only available from my living room, but it is not. It is available at Amazon, Walmart, Barnes and Noble, Oldies, Movies Unlimited. RecordStoreDay.com has it. You can order it from your local to your local record store, supporting your local record store. It's it's an incredible distribution, and it's actually all over the world. You can get it in France. It's streaming in England and Ireland, the island of Guernsey. So
Wow.
yeah, it's a truly international release. Uh, but the issue for me as a filmmaker and as the marketer is it's available. Now I have to connect this very strange, weird little movie with uh, the select audience that is into it. And they exist. We've gone to the festivals, we've gotten great reviews. You are out there, fans of this movie. We just need you to watch it.
And I want to tell our audience that the Blu-ray disc includes an excellent commentary featuring Matt Patterson, the writer of the film, and two of the actors as well.
Yeah, the director was my co-writer. He came up with the whole thing. I believe it or not, I was the voice of sanity in this. I'm like, oh, we have to make it tell a story. And you've seen the film.
And I heard you talking on the commentary as well. You're sort of being a moderator,
Yeah,
bringing everyone back to talking about what's important.
I'm the serious one.
And in addition to the commentary, we've got the trailer for the film,
Yes,
and as Matt mentioned, the VHS version, a rip of the VHS version,
yes,
is a special feature. So you can see it in all of its 4:3 glory.
yes. If you're really into pan and scan, desaturated color, and video noise. That's the version I recommend. And honestly, to be fair, the director says it's his favorite version, and so he's so happy that it's on the Blu-ray and more people get to see it than just at that cinema, or if you happen to buy the VHS on Lunamancer.com.
So I want to talk real quickly about the market for Blu-ray and physical media. I know that in 2020, Warner Brothers partnered with Universal to release its titles on disc, and recently Disney announced that it is partnering with Sony to release its titles on physical media. Is that the new normal as major studios shift their resources to direct-to-consumer streaming services?
Yes. To answer your question very simply, yes. Physical media, there's still a lot of money there, a lot of money on the table, but it's not, you know, uh, in 2007, I believe, it was a like $9 billion business at Warner Brothers. Like it was just it's hard for me to even remember the stats because it was just so huge. And it's gone down, but it's not zero. It's I know you know how much is made, and it is a very, very healthy, profitable business. It's just not um, Harry Potter or superhero money, right? So it's getting licensed out. But that means that smaller distributors can pick up the slack.
Right. And we have a lot of smaller distributors that distribute high quality versions of older films, cult classics.
Yes.
They're delivering all the content that consumers want to see on those.
Yeah, and they look great, and each of the different labels gets to add their touch with their very own special features because that's what they that's what they can really bring to the table.
In a recent pie chart aggregating the top 50 disc sellers, about 65% of units sold were DVD, about 25% were Blu-ray, and about 10% were 4K Blu-ray. And I was surprised to see that DVD was the largest percentage of units sold. Is that because Walmart and Target are now the only remaining big box retailers who sell physical media and they carry mostly DVD? Or is it because DVD is a lower price or a combination of both?
It more has to do with installed base, right? Like DVD, people had players and players were cheap for so long that people just got used to DVDs. And the fascinating thing about DVDs is that the mastering level on DVDs has gotten to the point, especially with like a DVD 9, that the average person feels it looks great, right? They don't care. Like I mean, though they could tell the difference, but it's not as important to them. And when it comes to TV sets where it's like multiple discs, yes, there's a cost difference, but it's more in the authoring rather than the disc because the disc is the disc, right? It's about the same price. Um, and another thing that we found is traditional DVD buyers, when they went out and bought a new DVD player, if their old one goes and they buy a Blu-ray player, they don't even know that they own a Blu-ray player. They just put the discs in and they still work. So they're like, oh, I have DVDs. So DVDs are so ubiquitous that if you're aiming for a non-collector market, you're going to make the most money that way on any release. Any release, it's still going to be majority DVD. If I sell a certain number of Blu-rays on this, I'll release a DVD. I just wanted to get it to collectors. Um, and I also wanted the challenge of burning a Blu-ray because it's much harder because they've changed like the software has completely changed over the years because people see it as obsolete, right? Like so it took it took me way longer than I suspected.
And just to clarify for our audience, the Lunamancer Blu-ray release is a burned Blu-ray
Yes.
rather than a pressed Blu-ray as in a commercial Blu-ray release.
Yeah, to get a spindle, it just would have been uh prohibitively expensive. Look, if sales go way up and I could make more money, by putting them on a spindle. It's actually a higher unit cost um, by burning it. But they, if you have a modern machine, it works. We had the same doubts when we first came out with the DVD-Rs. When I worked at Warner Archive, people were like, "These discs are never going to hold out for 10 years," and that was uh, 14 years ago, and those discs play just as well, or if not better, because we paid more per disc. So, there's this thing you may have heard of called like DVD rot, where like certain DVDs from the mid aughts, they use such a cheap glue that the layers start to come undone and the laser can't get the right zeros and ones.
Wow.
Yeah. And those, and that's a legacy problem. It's interesting. People who are collectors want to, go the distance with their media. Um, I mean, like, I think it was like 2013 or 2014. I wrote a position paper, just sort of saying that Blu-rays and even DVDs are going to be like vinyl, right? It's going to have the percentages of vinyl. And what I didn't 100% foresee is vinyl sales have recently eclipsed CD sales, right?
Right.
So as the music industry goes, the the film industry will follow. So at some point, the Blu-ray will probably eclipse, or a combination of Blu-ray and 4K will probably eclipse DVD. But it's slow. It's slow going.
Meanwhile, we've got these specialty films that are being released by boutique Blu-ray distributors exclusively online.
Right.
These are companies like Vinegar Syndrome, and these companies seem to be doing very well, selling high quality products online. Do you think that these specialty distributors are the future of physical media sales?
You know, um if you have a tentpole picture, right? Like a new Harry Potter comes out, that's probably still gonna go through a different tier of releasing. I mean, maybe in the future, but the independent companies, um, that have exclusive deals with the labels, like it isn't the one with Warner Brothers is it's a joint venture between Warner Brothers and Universal. It's actually a third. It's its own company. It's like spun off. That's who's releasing all the physical media at the A level, right? And Warner Archive has always existed for the B level material that may not get, higher placement or require higher marketing, considerations. But the back catalog, B releases, uh, B new release, B new releases to television as well. Those will probably go to indie distributors. And indie distributors, while they don't own the rights to the underlying, properties, what they do and what they do incredibly well is they add contextualization, right? You get special packaging, you get special features, you get special commentaries, and that's what they own, right? That's theirs. And they bring that to the table, and that's how you start following a label, because oh, Vinegar Syndrome's doing this, and they have this kind of equipment, and they do this kind of film, and they make it into something special because it's programmatic releasing rather than like it's going out to a Walmart bin releasing.
And they connect with their niche audience very well because they treat these products with such care and they give
Right.
it such high quality releases and extra material that fans appreciate.
Right. And that way they can assess their needs, like, okay, it's going to cost this, we can put these features on, you project sales, can we make a profit? Yes, obviously they have, because they continue to do it, right? Like that's a business, and those releases are fantastic. And Warner Brothers has been releasing more things through specialty labels, and they're great. They're great releases. Highly recommended.
And I wanted to ask you, Matt, I like borrowing movies on DVD from public libraries, but public libraries don't have Blu-ray discs. Are there any video stores where you can rent Blu-ray discs?
Specialty ones, right? Because it's a specialty um, niche. And like Los Angeles has several places. Cinephile on the west side it has wonderful Blu-ray selection, sales and rental, right? And that's because I mean, I bought back in like 2006 or 7, I bought a multi-region DVD player from Cinephile because I wanted to play like these discs that were coming in from other countries, and I had no way to do it. So I just bought it directly from them, supported them, and then I was renting movies like crazy from there from all over the world. And then um, when Netflix started their crazy experiment by it was like a free streaming was a free add-on. I enjoyed the weird ass back catalog stuff that they put up because that's what they could get the rights to. And I was like, oh my God, this is like my dream come true. I'm watching the Canon films. Like I can watch uh Popsicle, oh my God. There's just these like crazy Israeli films and things, and I'm just like, that just became a rabbit hole for me, right? But now Netflix is like blockbuster. It's mainstream. There's some obscure things on it, but you don't go there for something obscure. I mean, maybe a good new release, but you go to something like Tubi, which has a deep, deep, deep library of very, very offbeat films on it. And, I mean, the masters are good. But again, it's not the same as physical media. There's no commentary, there's no contextualization. I don't even know why I'm going from one thing to another or why something's being recommended. I'm just like, got a great cover, click, right? You missed that.
You've lost all of those special features and all the behind the scenes content is not available.
Yeah, I mean, the algorithms are helpful and sometimes surprising, but they're not like, the video person behind the counter telling me you got to check out this movie where two pumpkins do kung fu.
Or even just being able to go into the store to the section that you
Yeah.
like and
Yeah.
look at titles on the shelf.
Yeah. And like pick it up and read the copy.
Right. And
Like,
see the still pictures on the back.
nobody should hang out with me when I start going through a streaming service where I'm like, what is this key art? Where's the trailer? Where's the pitch? Why should I watch this? I just get mad at it because I'm like, sell me.
It's not as personal as going to a video store.
Well, design wise, I feel that somebody made a decision like nobody reads the text. They just click on the pictures of people's faces. Like it's the 90s big head, like you put Bruce Willis's head as like 3/4 of the cover. And I'm like, I don't know what movie it is, but I paid a lot of money for Bruce Willis. So click.
Well, I've got the public libraries, I've got these specialty video stores to check out. It's
Yeah.
it's still
The
possible to have that experience.
I now live down in downtown LA, and the public library is 2 blocks away, and they do have one very tiny shelf of Blu-rays, but it's a huge DVD library, huge, and I can get them for 5 days, and it's so much fun to go in there because it looks like the 90s in there because that's when it was built. And then 2 blocks this way, I have Alamo Draft House, so they have the Video Vortex where it's like all these like, and they're free. It's just like they just have all these crazy DVDs, and you just can check them out. And again, it's DVDs, but they're fun, right? Like there's nothing wrong. I mean, to me, there's nothing wrong with the DVD. If I want a high quality presentation, if I'm looking for a good master, you get a 4K, you get a Blu-ray, or you know, a high quality digital master that you download or whatever. But it's there are all different reasons to watch films and TV shows, and they always don't have to be a premium experience, because every experience, every way you watch is different. There's no right way.
Hey, Matt, are you familiar with a micro cinema on Sunset Boulevard called Cine Lounge?
Oh yeah, sit lounge. I've gone there many times.
Okay, so how would you classify the budget of the independent films that play there versus a film like Lunamancer's budget?
So if Lunamancer were to play in a regular theater in LA, that would be the theater, because they allow four walling. Like I could pay money for them to show it, right? And that is a marketing hook, because you can be like, it's been released in LA, and then that'll be part of a day and date releasing with digital, right? Like see it in the theater here, like it's a good strategy. They it's run on a it's great. It's a wonderful viewing experience. It's run more like the theaters that I would encounter when I visit Europe, right? Like it's just because it's one different movie right after the other, and just strap in, right? Like it's crazy.
Well, it's a great independent film theater for
Yes,
exclusively independent films. So I guess what I was
very
going to
exclusive.
ask is, did you
Independent.
consider playing Lunamancer
I
at the
did.
cinema?
I did, and um, uh, I just thought that it would be more fun to show it at a VHS venue, because while I'm nothing against that, I couldn't time the day and date correctly. So I tried to time the day and date for the other one with the physical release. And so and I thought that that was a good angle. Now you're seeing behind the scenes in my brain. Um, so it's like, why not go somewhere that supports physical media and the people who are there, like somebody who goes to a VHS store is somebody who is adamantly in love with physical media.
Okay, it makes total sense now. The rationale for choosing the screening at Whammy is to reach that audience of hardcore physical media collectors and to have a day and date screening almost as a way to promote not only the VHS release of the film,
Yeah.
but to be able to say, and by the way, if you're interested in the Blu-ray, it has the VHS version as a special feature.
You're making the speech that I made in front of everybody there. And, the idea too with like events like this is like, 40, 50 people show up to this, but also we can put it on social media and take pictures. Like, obviously, not everybody is going to be able to come out to this event, but it, all I'm trying to do is get it to like tick a box in your head, and you're like, why? Right? But that leads to maybe somebody checking it out, like if the movie made sense to you, why would you go see it? Like if you thought you knew everything about it, but instead it's I want it to be full of surprise and delight.
So, Matt, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to talk with me today about Lunamancer, released on Blu-ray disc, and about the physical media market itself, which is changing rapidly. So, thanks again for your time. And I want to encourage everybody to check out Lunamancer on Blu-ray
Woo!
disc.
Thank you. It's almost like I could have talked another hour about this, but thank God I didn't.
All right. Bye-bye, Matt.
Bye.